On with the senior mini-motos then. So far we've had the same top three in each race. Will Howarth, 2 wins out of 2. Jamie King, runner-up in each of his appearances. And Mark Payne, who's got the shot from 4th position on the grid to take 3rd place in each of his 2 appearances. The battles have been between Nick Bennett and Paul Nicholls over 4th position. Bennett has certainly shown plenty of dash, but he's been involved in too many incidents, really, quite honestly. He's on P3 on the grid for this one, the 2nd row. So the front row of the grid is Will Howarth and Jamie King, who finished in that order in each of their appearances so far. 3rd on the grid is Nick Bennett. He has looked one of the fastest riders on show, but he's got to keep it together over a full race distance. He's alongside Mark Payne, a double podium finisher so far this weekend. Josh Darter and Paul Nicholls on the 3rd row of the grid. Plenty of edginess on the start line as we finally get underway with a good start from Will Howarth. Jamie King forcing his way to the front. Jamie King hitting the front, then ahead of Will Howarth. They were side by side all the way down to the first turn. Mark Payne has dropped Nick.
This is Breakaway Live trial version. The best sounding low latency audio processor in the world, period.
Incoming transmission.
We hope you're enjoying the demo. For more information, visit claytonedwards.com.
claytonedwards.com.
To the fringes of the top 5, but he's back up in 4th, and now he's attacking for 3rd position as well. Watch for Nick Bennett on the number 711 bike in 4th position. The leader is starting to break clear. 4th place is the rider making progress, Nick Bennett. They're almost side by side for 2nd as well. But it's Bennett who's making up ground from 4th position. The leader is starting to pull clear. Out in front, the number 96 bike, Will Howarth. 2nd, 3rd and 4th position, separated by almost nothing. Mark Payne ahead of Jamie King and Nick Bennett. Bennett being held back at this stage and also holding back Josh Darter through the opening couple of turns through the hook. Bennett coming through for 3rd position. Let's see if he can continue his pursuit through the field. He dropped back off the line from 3rd place, dropping down to 5th, but he's back up in 3rd place now behind Will Howarth, Mark Payne. Jamie King dropped back last lap around behind Payne, who moved up into 2nd place. But it's Bennett who's still making progress. The 711 bike once again coming down the longest straight on the circuit, the hanger straight, and down into Raymond's. The best passing opportunity. He makes a lunge, but he backs out of it at the last minute, and then he's going to take the inside run to see if he can build up his momentum and attack again through the hook. Not close enough this time around Nick Bennett. So as I said, it's Howarth, Payne and Bennett in the lead 3 positions. Josh Darter has also picked off Jamie King, so a disastrous lap there for Jamie King as Bennett again looks to the inside. He's made a lot of moves this weekend down the Bomber Straight and into Surtees. This time around he wasn't able to make it stick. He's being slightly more cautious in this race than he was in the previous 2, after being involved in incidents in each of his 2 opening appearances and missing out on the podium because of it. He's in line for a podium here, sitting in P3 behind Mark Payne at the moment. The riders in 2nd to 4th positions working their way off the Dell, down the hanger straight. Bennett is going to have another go. He's tucked right in behind Mark Payne, who sits 2nd again. He feints to the right, but then backs out of it at the last moment. He certainly let Payne know that he's there, but it could be a while before an opportunity presents itself, and Bennett hasn't been patient enough in his appearances so far. Howarth, Payne, Bennett, Darter up in 4th position. Nicholls, Grant and Birkin have all jumped ahead of Jamie King, so King must have some sort of problem because he has dropped well and truly out of contention in this one. After finishing 2nd in each of his opening 2 appearances, he's dropped down to 8th place. So Howarth is well clear. Payne and Bennett is where the race is in 2nd and 3rd positions as they come into the Dell. And while Bennett is being held back by Payne, Josh Darter is having an opportunity to close on the pair. Bennett cuts through, moves up to the outside to try and block Payne. Payne's still almost alongside, and Darter not too far behind either. Payne's going to get hung out to dry on the outside line, and Darter cuts past. That's real opportunism from Josh Darter to take P3. Mark Payne was determined to try and get all the way around the outside of Nick Bennett, and it was never on really through Raymond's. Bennett held the inside line well and moved up to block when he needed to, coming off the Dell. And that was possibly a mistake from from Mark Payne, who could have cut back to the inside and settled in behind Nick Bennett, but instead, by sticking to the outside, was overhauled by Josh Darter. So it's Howarth now, over 4 seconds clear of the race for second. Bennett, Darter and Payne in that order. Payne on the tail of Darter. Will he have the pace to try and recapture another top 3 finish? Mark Payne, third place in each of his opening 2 appearances. He thinks about a move. He makes the decision very late, and he makes the move. Down the inside, you can't get much closer to the curb around Raymond's than that. And through comes Mark Payne to get the better of Josh Darter, who's relegated to 4th. Still Paul Nicholls rounding out the top 5. So the race at the moment is for 2nd, 3rd and 4th positions. Bennett, Payne and Darter in that order. Howarth breaking clear. Bennett setting a new personal best. Last lap around on lap number 5, just to open that margin out over, well, Mark Payne now. Of course, he was trying to accelerate away from Josh Darter, but Darter overhauled by Mark Payne at the end of the last lap. Darter still on the tail of Payne, though. Those two have dropped well back from Nick Bennett, who's continuing his relentless pace from 2nd position. Payne has got back in front of Darter then. Can Darter repay the compliment? They're certainly very close heading into Raymond's, but Payne has the racing line. Can Darter do anything about it coming off Raymond's, coming off the hairpin? Not quite close enough heading down into turn 1, but that's where the race is. 3rd and 4th positions. Payne and Darter, 3rd and 4th places. Payne, who finished 3rd in each of his 2 previous appearances. Darter, who's yet to appear in the top 5 this weekend, and looks set for, at very least, 4th position, because Paul Nicholls is 4 seconds back down the road. And Darter has been presented a golden opportunity by problems for Jamie King, who is still out there running, incidentally, but over a lap down now. The number 76 bike classified in 10th position as things stand on the timing screens, and actually just passes us underneath race control here to complete his 6th lap. So not quite a lap down then on the race leader, Will Howarth, who's over 5 seconds clear now on Nick Bennett in 2nd place. Payne and Darter 3rd and 4th positions. As we head into the closing stages, we're on the final lap now. Howarth over 4 seconds clear. He's just got to bring it home. The race is for 3rd position. Josh Darter separated from Mark Payne by 0.3 of a second coming into the final lap. The number 18 bike and the number 26. Nick Bennett has pulled clear. This is going to be his best result of the weekend, his first podium finish. The checkered flag being readied for the number 96 bike of Will Howarth. It's been a dominant performance this weekend. It's going to be 3 wins out of 3 in Llandow for Will Howarth. Down the Raymond for the final turn. And Will Howarth makes it 3 wins out of 3 for a successful weekend in South Wales. Nick Bennett over the line in 2nd. He'll be relieved to have finally made it onto the podium. And Mark Payne dropped Josh Darter on the final lap. And actually Darter's under pressure coming out of the final turn for the final time. And has lost a position to Paul Nicholls. Nicholls snatching that place right on the last lap. So disappointment for Josh Darter, who still receives his first top 5 finish of the day after problems earlier on in the race for Jamie King. The result in full then, it's a win for Will Howarth ahead of Nick Bennett in 2nd. 3 seconds the gap between the two of them in the end, with Howarth backing off the pace in the closing stages. He was comfortable there and comfortable this weekend with 3 wins out of 3. Great race for Nick Bennett. Really pleased that he enjoyed a successful one there. He's been involved in a lot of the action through the weekend in the senior Minimotos. Paul Nicholls finishing 4th for a 2nd consecutive race, snatching that position from Josh Darter right on the final lap.
Race 8 coming up after the break. It's time for Funky. It's Mini F1 Sidecars.